Welcome to Scofield Farm. I'm Carice. It is not exactly the best timing of day to do a garden tour, but it is the very start of September. I wanted to show you my garden. It is beautiful and lush, and it's a perfect time of year to share it with you. So I hope that you watch till the end and you can see how our garden in Northern California is doing right now. It's a little bright outside, but let's get started. We are going to start in a different part of the garden than we usually start because I'm over here under the trellises and amongst so many flowers. And I want to show you what it looks like over here on the far corner of my garden. And then we'll work our way backwards towards the front of the garden. This back corner of my garden is all flowers. So many zinnias of all different colors that volunteered, and I just love them and I kept them here. Behind them, I have grow bags of potatoes, which I've harvested 4 of them, 4 out of 5 in this row. The one on the end you can see is not harvested yet. It's kind of dying back. I replanted all of the grow bags. And so all of them, as you see, are at different stages of potatoes growing again, so we can get another harvest of potatoes. I had a volunteer tomato I put in that pot and a sunflower that just came up on its own. Super pretty. It actually faces the east. This is our east side. Really pretty multi-head, and it's bloomed the whole time, the whole season. Then you can see those grow bags are on that eastern fence of mine. And then all the zinnia craziness down there. There are some really pretty zinnia that are in this little pot right here. I love when they're puffy like this. I think they're so beautiful. They're like my favorite kinds. This back area here is all my asparagus beds. I think I might move them to like a more permanent location, but they've been in these self-watering pots for a couple of years, so we harvest them during the spring. This back bed, I have, let's see, cosmos that I cut way back. I have a lot of onions, and I harvested a bunch, but there's like kind of a row of them I still need to harvest that are just now having their tops fall over. Behind that, I have tomatoes, and then I have some different basils as well that are kind of interplanted. And on the other side of it, you'll see a bunch of zinnia that kind of crowded them. I don't know what I'm going to do with that exactly, but I do know this is for sure ready. What a great onion that is. That's a good one. I mean, this is a great size onion. We've had quite a few this big this year. We've had onions trickling in all of the summer months. It's September now, still having onions that we're harvesting. So even though we don't have like a good cold storage solution, like we don't have a basement, we don't have a root cellar cold pantry, we can keep harvesting them and eating them, and we cure them, but their storage is not very long in our hot climate. But we get a lot of onions to eat from the garden, and I'm very thankful for that. These are mostly my cherry tomatoes. Everything has got a little slower this year tomato-wise. I got them planted late. It was different weather too. So here are my sun gold, which usually are crazy abundant, and I have them kind of trickling in. The good news is that we have a long growing season, so hopefully we're going to get a good harvest in the fall. And all these different types of basil, I think this might be Thai basil in here. I had some lime basil and stuff too. I have lettuce leaf basil, Tulsi holy basil, and an Emily Italian sweet basil. So lots of basils, and we have harvested so much basil. So I'm thankful for that. The pollinators also love them. We keep bees. So I let them flower, all except for the sweet basil and the lettuce leaf basil. And then I just keep cutting them back and drying them for teas and stuff. As you can see, there's plenty of green tomatoes on them. They just need to ripen because we're a little behind. This beautiful mess is a bunch of zinnia that either volunteered in my beds or grew in the path. And so it's kind of like a zinnia avenue, I would call it. Growing over the top is a type of pumpkin. I can't even remember. I planted like 4 or 5. It's kind of sparse growing over because some of my pumpkin vines were eaten by something at the root, at the base. And so you see some stuff has been dying back. I've been taking them out as they've been dying, but I do have a cherry tomato plant there that was a volunteer. I've got a lot of cherry tomatoes from that one. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like a super sweet 100 that volunteered back. And I got a lot of those volunteers, and I basically transplanted them in places where other tomatoes weren't doing well. Our tomatoes had a hard start this year. We did have an issue with some overwatering of someone who watched them for me while I was out of town. And so a lot of them kind of died early from disease. but some lived. But then also we had all these volunteers that we actually have got the most tomatoes from so far that were like a super sweet 100 variety. And these are just such a pretty volunteer color of zinnia. Sometimes the volunteers have the prettiest colors. The undergrowth of my zinnias and tomatoes is again more basil. This is holy basil, Tulsi holy basil. This is my favorite tea. I've harvested so much of it, like too much to even describe to you because I drink it almost every night all winter long, and you'll see more zinnia. They're just everywhere. I like to interplant. I don't do monocrops, which means all the same. So you'll see like eggplant on the end of beds. You'll see different flowers like the royal carpet alyssum on the end of beds. Those cosmos have had a long life. They're kind of at the end of it. This is one of my favorite types of tomatoes right here. They are called Brad's Atomic Crepe, and those look like they're doing good. They just are a little behind on ripening. I just think this is such a pretty view. Like you wouldn't even know I was growing vegetables unless I told you, because it looks like just a flower garden. It's super pretty. I like it. Okay, back here, this is like the back side of that bed. Well, the other bed across from it. And I have tucked under here in a permaculture fashion. You'll see some alyssum. This is again the purple carpet or royal carpet, I think. I put a lot of my bell peppers. I think these are like red yellow. There's different ones all the way down the line. This is the east side of the bed. I wanted them shaded by the tall tomatoes. I didn't fully realize they would be shaded by all these flowers as well. So some of them are doing well. There, I see some yellow bell. I see some blot over there. Let me show you what those look like. Right here, I believe that's a yellow bell, and there's quite a few that are just starting there. You can see some here, here, here. There's a little bee that is loving the basil. We have basils tucked everywhere. Look, I think that is the blot. Blot really seems to have done well for me this year. It's the best bell pepper I have had so far. Hopefully the other ones go ahead and produce too. So this basil right here, I'm pretty sure this is the lime basil. Yeah, it's good. It's very good. So I've recently fallen in love with the lime basil. I've grown Thai basil for a long time, and we use it with like all sorts of Asian foods and dishes. And I also like to dehydrate it for teas, but the lime basil is somewhat new to me. My second year, I love it. My aunt gave me the seeds. I love it. It's so good. It's so citrusy. I don't know why I didn't assume it would be citrusy, because obviously Thai basil, Tulsi, holy basil tastes different than traditional basil, but it really is more citrusy than I imagined. It's the tomatoes I'm trying to grow in the middle, and all of the flowers and the basils and the bell peppers I have growing over the arch trellis spaghetti squash. There's several. There's one right there. I think there's a pretty good one down here. There it is. That one is almost ready, basically ready for me to pick and to cure. More here. And here, as a gluten-free family, we love to use spaghetti squash as a substitute for noodles. We also have trobacino squash growing over this trellis and a type of acorn squash. It's really pretty. I need to actually try tasting them. I've harvested several. I haven't tasted them to see if I like them. Another trobacino. It's doing pretty well. We have some sort of vine that died right here. This has happened with a lot of my winter squash this year, and I've just had to pull them out. It's something that's been attacking them down at the base. I think these chickens are waiting for a treat. I like to feed them chard when I'm in the garden, so I think that's what they are patiently waiting for. I know we were over there in the arch trellises, but I'm chasing the shade. I'm trying to make this fast. It's very hot. It's like 100 degrees out here. It's not that hot compared to some of our summers, but I'm still hot in the direct sunlight. So I came over to the other corner of the garden, which is shaded right now by that big gray pine behind me. See how enormous it is? It's like the best use of permaculture to get a little bit of shade in the garden on the hottest time of day. This bed has chives. At the end, we have some eggplant that are kind of taking their time. That one is just starting to have maybe something start. We have calendula on the end, and then a bunch of different tomatoes in the middle with some different herbs. We have so much Thai basil. This bed is basically all Thai basil, and I probably need to do a big harvest of it. You can see how even it's going to seed and drying out, like those seeds are going to volunteer. This is my leek bed, and so the leeks that were left bloomed. They have gone to seed. You can actually see the black seeds in them, but are probably dropping everywhere. That's fine. This is a lot of these are like my more paste type tomatoes. I'm trying to look. Oh, this one right here, this is called a taxi. It has been the best producer so far. I've not got a lot of tomatoes this year. This one's done pretty good. Then I have my other paste type, which have all also been kind of slow this year. Oh, and volunteer cherry tomatoes, like I described earlier, those are producing pretty well considering. Some stuff was planted later, some stuff was stunted, so it's just going to be a slower year. Again, more Thai basil. And yeah, this bed, I feel like there's room on this side. This is the north side of the bed to maybe plant some of my fall stuff like brassicas or lettuce. As soon as I have them ready, I started them in the house. So this is a place of future planting that I'm envisioning that will get the shade from the tomatoes and such, that will help with the hot, because we have hot falls. We have hot falls, hot Septembers, even hot Octobers. So I think it'll help me be able to plant fall stuff out early. We have more of like a cool weather garden than technically a fall garden. Our fall garden is basically our summer garden producing really well, the best time of a lot of the production, with addition of beans and that kind of stuff that I planted a little bit late. But our brassicas, our lettuce, our onions, garlic, that stuff we all plant in the fall, and then over winters, and often is like best productive either in the spring or like the onions and the garlic we harvest in the summer. So much of my calendula is buggy, but this one is not. And it is called, I think, Snow Princess. It's really pretty. Very, very delicate light yellow. I have my Jamaican Roselle hibiscus right here. It's a little smaller than some years, but I'm hoping that it gets bigger and it flowers. It usually doesn't flower until things cool off quite a bit. And there you can see, there's some clusters of cherry tomatoes and some different paste tomatoes. They're still green. So yeah, it's just gonna take a little time to ripen, but we'll get a harvest at some point here. You can see our compost bin in the back there. One thing that's important for people to know who watch my channel, important to me, is that you know that gardening is different in different climates. It's different years. There are different things that you're going to encounter in growing your own food that are going to work well one year and not well the other. There are times when you will have not a lot of tomatoes. We have great peppers, I'll show you that. We have other things doing wonderful. But you have to be flexible when you grow food, and you have to have a heart of thankfulness for what you do get, and then to be able just to shrug off and let go things that go wrong, because things will go wrong. But if you're going to grow food for the long haul, we've been growing food for 16 years, we've been growing herbs and flowers even longer, then you have to roll with it. You can't be fixated on expectations. You have an open hand, an open heart, and thankfulness for what goes right, and then a commitment to learn. Everything is learning as you go, and everything is growing and changing, and it's part of what keeps it exciting and interesting. This is our strawberry bed. It's a 4 by 16 foot bed of strawberries. It's very productive. We do need to thin it again. It's most productive in the spring and late summer, early fall. But it definitely trickling in strawberries, and then I need to pull runners. I keep trying to pull runners, but they need more pulling than I've been doing. Hello, Shadow. Over here, you see sweet potatoes, and let me show you some sweet potatoes I have in pots out behind our house. The sweet potatoes in pots I actually planted first while I was waiting for the garlic to be harvested to plant them in my garlic beds. So we will see, do the sweet potatoes in pots do better, or do the sweet potatoes in the garden bed do better? It's always an experiment around here to see how we can maximize the amount of food we grow for our family of 9. I have cucumbers on the end of this sweet potato bed you saw. I kept saying they were munchers. They're not munchers. I actually looked up the name finally. It's called Tender Sweet. I got the seed pack at a local nursery, Tender Sweet. So there's one right there. Oh, I thought that was one that was actually the water. Anyway, they've been trickling in. They've been pretty good. I have, let's see, tomatillos right here. And we have yet to get a good harvest to make salsa verde. We actually have yet to have a good harvest to make regular salsa, believe it or not. Here's another zinnia in the path. We have so many chives. I keep cutting them back. I actually even use them to mulch my potatoes. But we eat a lot of chives. We dehydrate a lot of chives. We grind them to be like an onion powder, but they're a chive powder. They're so good. We add them to our refried beans. So you'll see the little, I don't know, what do you call these? Like lanterns from the tomatillos, but a lot of them aren't filled out yet. On the other side of this bed, we have our summer squashes, our zucchini, and that's been trickling in. We've been harvesting a couple each day. This is the bed closest to my garden gate, and it's like the biggest sage you've probably ever seen. I used to have two this big. I need to harvest it. It is like so enormous. I have beans growing up on the other side. It's so pretty. This used to be an entire garlic bed. I love the wild, beautiful, dark green foliage of the beans, and I've been picking a lot of beans, like so many beans. I probably need to go through and pick again. I have a bunch in the fridge. We love to eat fresh beans. I don't can beans personally. Look at that thing. That is enormous. Oh my goodness, this is almost like one I could save for seed, but I went ahead and picked it. But we like fresh beans. We're not like a canned bean kind of family. So we just enjoy them seasonally as they last, and we have them as sides on our Sunday lunches, where we usually do like a barbecue with my sister's family and my mom, and then bring your own meat and a side to share. We'll bring like green beans, or we'll bring potatoes from our garden, or maybe we'll bring like a kale salad or a zucchini and squash that I'll saute. It's really fun to have all of this garden food and to share it in like the potluck kind of fashion. So as you can see, I actually need to harvest more beans, but I can't do it on our tour. We got to do our tour. I have lemon cucumber that I got planted late. They just wouldn't take. I planted them like 4 or 5 times. They're finally starting to grow up with the beans. So we'll have like a fall harvest of lemon cucumbers, which I'm very happy about. Lemon cucumbers are so mild. They never get bitter, and so they will be so delicious to have at the end of the season. Guys, the beans are outrageous. They are doing so well this year. I have some volunteer tomatoes that I put in these black pots. I put them on the north side, so hopefully the black pots wouldn't get too hot, and they've done okay. I did these tomato cages. I'm not a tomato cage person, but with the volunteers, kind of had to, because I didn't have room on my fences to kind of weave them in and out. This bed I've got, goodness, it was mostly supposed to be that Emily basil for making pesto, but then we also somehow got, I believe that is lime basil in there. There might even be some Thai basil in there somewhere. We have calendula in almost every bed. So this bed is a lot of heirloom tomatoes that are really, really slow, and they haven't done that well. I'm very curious if they're actually going to produce for me. I love this color of volunteer zinnia. It's like salmony with like vibrant red in the middle. I want to save seed from this to see if I can grow them again on purpose next year. You never know if the seeds will save true, but I really like them. Again, I have a lot of eggplant in different beds, and so I just harvested one from here last night. Oh, I love when I see my bees around. We keep bees, so I love to see bees on my herbs, my flowers. Hello, little bee. Little bee friend, make me some honey. So more tomatoes. I really hope we get a good harvest. Behind the tomatoes on this north side, I had lettuce that I let it finish its season. I just harvested the seeds last night. I did not make a video. I have other videos about harvesting lettuce seed. I will actually link those below. But I have a lot of Tulsi basil all along the back of this. Again, my very favorite tea. Some people call it holy basil. And I harvest it all the time. And if you keep harvesting it, it will keep coming up with blooms, so the pollinators get fresh blooms all the time too. Behind that bed, I have this bed that has, I'm not sure if those are blush tomatoes or if those are Brad's Atomic Grape. They kind of look like blush, but those look like there's a ton of them. They just need to turn color. And this is like a pepper bed. I cut this old chard. It's like a 5-year-old chard way back. And it's growing some fresh leaves. It just looks so icky and buggy. I decided to give it like a deep pruning. We have a lot of peppers in here. Our shishitos have done really well. I need to harvest again. Some are even turning red, but they've done very, very well. Oh, here we go. And we've eaten them. We make a homemade ranch dip, and then we just blister them in like some olive oil. I might even try my cooking tallow that I rendered, and we eat them. They're delicious. And I have like some volunteer cherry tomatoes that are kind of falling over. Those didn't get a stake or any type of trellis for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. You'll always see basil in the beds this year. This is my third trellis arch, and this one has cantaloupe, and we've eaten a lot of cantaloupe from it. I'm trying to see if there's one I can show you. Oh, this one looks really good. I think it's a different variety. There's one called Bidwell. It's called Bidwell something. I think that might be that one. They can get really big. This is the other cantaloupes, and this one's still small. It's got a ways to grow. We've harvested a lot. I've been very pleased. There's one growing right there. So they fall off when they're ripe. We haven't had any break. But sometimes we do harvest them when they fall into the actual garden bed with the peppers. Oh, there's a lot of jalapeno. Ooh, maybe I should make some more cowboy candy or something. We'll see. The other side has pickling cucumbers. A few look ready that I need to pick again. I haven't made pickles yet this year. I actually have been eating them on sandwiches and with like cream cheese and toast, and yeah, I need to make some pickles. I make my own fermented dill pickles. That's how I like them. That's how we like them. They're so good in a salt brine. I have a whole video about that. I can link that video to how I make my own old-fashioned pickles for you. I'm trying to go fast through the other. I have 2 beds, 1 bed left. I'm going to try to go quickly because it's hot and I have to drive my son to his work before it's time for him to start. The eggplants that are doing the best. This is a Black Beauty eggplant. I have 3 types of eggplant in my garden this year. I have a long eggplant. I think it's called Ping Tung. I have Black Beauty, and then I have one called Rosa Bianca that's striped. So this is doing really, really well. I've already harvested eggplant off of it. My echinacea flowers, they've seen better days. They're really bug ridden. They've bloomed quite a few times. And then I have a lot of peppers and basil and stuff in this bed. I think that the blossoms of eggplant are so cute. They're just beautiful. Okay, beyond these eggplant, there are lots of peppers. So many peppers that I need to actually pick. My favorite peppers are in there. Sugar Rush Peach. Right here are Peruvian Purple. They almost look black, but they're really dark purple and they're spicy. They turn kind of red when they're ripe. But these are my favorite. I have a lot of plants of them and they're packed. Sugar Rush Peach, I make hot sauce. I eat them in my eggs. I just like them, guys. I love them. They're honestly the best pepper, I think. They're spicy, but they're also fruity. And when they're ripe, they get like an orangey color. I'm trying to see if there's any good ripe ones to show you, but don't pick them when they're yellow. They even taste better. Oh, there you go. When they're the full color. These giant macaroni have done amazing for us, a sweet pepper. I will always grow these now. We love them and we've got a lot of them. We harvest them red. I have one more bed to quickly show you before I take my son to work. This is also a pepper bed. The back side of my tromboncino. It has a ton of calendula in it, but it also has some really spicy peppers. I think those are Hungarian. They're a Scotch bonnet. Down there, there's all sorts of kinds, and I actually put volunteer tomatoes in there too. There are cayenne peppers in there. I think we even have like ghost peppers, 7-pot chocolate. Do they have any on them yet? Not quite. Really hot ones take a while. These are Thai chili dragon. They make the best hot sauce. They are so good. I harvest them red. I think these are my habanero. There are some on them. Oh yay, that is so exciting. Oh my gosh, I think that's all habanero. So we're gonna have a good harvest of habanero this year. And yeah, we've got a lot of fun things. And then we're back to the start where we have all the zinnia. I also show you my little Meyer lemon tree I've had since we got the house. We planted it wrong. So it is very, very small, but also we've had deer eat the top off of it so many times. Oh my goodness. Next garden tour, I will show you all the citrus, but that sneak peek of the lemon can give you ideas of what's to come. I have like 15 citrus trees. I have a lot of videos about citrus. I'll actually link the citrus playlist below. I'll see you in the next garden tour. Maybe Maybe we'll do a second one in September. Who knows?